Hello, beautiful listeners. Welcome to the Uncensored Anime Podcast, where we provide uncensored takes on anime. For all of you new listeners out there, I am David. I'm joined by Jerry, who is hopefully to my side, and then Kenny, who's below me.
Correct.
We are three people who love anime, and today we're going to do just that. We're going to talk about anime. So we're going to get into some news, and then we're going to get into a topic about, get a little into video games and anime, like the connection between the two. We're gonna get into it. So Jerry, first thing first, got any news to start us off with?
Hell yeah! No, but for real, welcome back again. We are so excited to be here, and tonight it is just the three boys again. But tonight we are not going to be reviewing any anime for you. We love to review anime here on the podcast, but tonight we're actually going to take a little break from reviews, and we don't have a guest with us. It is just the boys chatting about something that we all are passionate about, which is video games and anime. God, your cat just took a big leap. Video games and anime, which is something, we were just chatting about it the other day, and we thought it would be fun to get on an episode and just chat about the intersection of these two things. Because if you don't know, there's a pretty storied history of, games that legitimately built or helped fans to get into anime. Learned about certain animes through video games, which is really cool. So we're going to talk more of that, but let's talk a little bit of news, boys. So, David, I actually think you have one of the most incredible news stories this week. You brought it up to our attention. David, what movie came out this week, and what happened with that movie?
Last week.
Last week, the movie that we've talked about on the show before that we're excited to see when it comes out in America, Kimetsu no Yaiba Mugen Train, which is Demon Slayer Infinity Train, came out. And I feel like we all expected it to do well.
Right.
But not only did it do well, it shattered some fucking records, let me tell you. It shattered.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So according to Wikipedia, the film broke the first day record for a film released in Japan with 1.2 billion yen, which is about $11 million. And I'm sure if you're an anime fan, you probably heard of the movie Spirited Away, Hayao Miyazaki film. It surpassed the record that Spirited Away previously held, which was $10 billion, which was a milestone that they got in 19 days, held for 19 years. It got, I'm reading this wrong.
Spirited Away held the record for 19 years.
It became the fastest movie in the history of the Japanese box office to cross 10 billion yen.
Correct.
Which was previously Spirited Away.
Yes.
So that's crazy, and it's only been out for 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah, like a little over 2 weeks.
So there's still, room for it to keep increasing that threshold in money. Mm-hmm. And it's also the 10th highest grossing film in Japan of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd,
actually. Yeah, it's also two other things. It is the highest grossing Japanese film of 2020. One of the world's highest grossing films in the world of 2020. And it came out officially October 16th. So at this point it's been out for over 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yeah, a little over.
So 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy. That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, in a year with very little movies coming out, Demon Slayer has the opportunity to be pretty dope for the anime industry. I'm not going to lie, especially if I don't know, from my knowledge, I don't know how much of an international release this film really got, which traditionally, had this year been normal, I would believe that Funimation would have done a full rollout here in the U.S., and you probably would have been able to see it across multiple screens. My assumption is they would have went all out to get this movie out into U.S. audiences' hands. But here we are, and we aren't getting that. There is no rollout. There's no nothing, actually. This movie's just up in the air about when we're actually all going to be able to see it, which is unfortunate. Because, I think all of us want to see it.
It's gonna be fucking tight.
Uh-huh.
I know what it's covering a whole arc, which is cool.
Yeah, do you know how many chapters, Kenny, goes into the Infinity Train arc?
25, maybe?
Yeah,
wow.
It's like 20-ish.
That's a lot of chapters.
But it is a lot of action. I have no doubt that it'll be fine. Because if in 20 minutes you can fit 4 chapters, then what is that? Yeah, about an hour and a half. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I don't know if they've released, because they haven't released any news for season 2 of Demon Slayer, right?
No, they did.
They did release some news. Yeah. It has been announced.
So is it just continuing after the movie?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, that's how the story goes. So
that makes sense.
This could end up being just a really cool way to handle this. You know, they were pretty much like, all right, let's ball out on a really awesome first season. Let's get film level budget and prove, you know, once they establish themselves and said, okay, look at how popular this series is. Got a huge budget. It's probably a baller ass film, just to be honest. Because it adapts a cool arc and it is manga content, so they didn't write any new content, which is like solid because, you know, most movies based off long running shonens are their own stories.
Usually original.
Yeah, they write their own story. So they're getting to adapt real content into a film. And so there you go. And it's like, you know, we've got this 1.5 hour long adaptation in the highest possible quality. It's probably baller as fuck, honestly. Like, it's probably dope. I can't wait to see it. And it's going to be sick.
Table, they've done
UFO
movies before.
They're badass, dude. Aren't they the Blade, Infinity...
They're the Fate Stay Night guys.
Yeah. I think they did Unlimited Blade Works, which people talk about how it's the like standard, like, you know, the best animation you can see on, you know, so.
And crazy. The other scenario in Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, they did it as a movie trilogy instead of doing another series. So
see, and that's like such a baller move. Like, it's just like UFO Table's like, look at me, you know, like. We can make movies out of cool anime, and now, and honestly, the fact that it's doing so well is kind of like, it adds some oil to the fire, right? It's like other companies might consider trying something like this.
Especially if you can do, like, in Demon Slayer's case, they have enough space where while you're in production for season 1, you could then do an arc in movie form and have it also in production. And then you can buffer
totally could. You could buffer them, so
that your seasonal anime, you're not away from it as long, like with Attack on Titan or One Punch Man, or
that's
even My Hero. Yeah, you can make it so that people aren't like, I want more of this, but it's not coming out for another year or 2 years, or fuck. I want Stone Ocean to come out. So
now the great part. Oh, I do too. David, how are you doing with JoJo's?
Oh, I'm like in the middle of like 8-9 anime right now because I've converted. I'm full on weeb now.
He's converted.
I'm
weeb, episode 12. We did it, guys.
I started a show.
12 episodes
in, and then I start a new show, and now I'm like balancing all these shows. But I think I'm like on episode like 10 or 11 of Golden. But I definitely plan on finishing all the shows I'm currently watching. I plan to finish before the end. I'm excited for JoJo's.
Part 5 has one of the biggest like end mindfucks of any of the seasons. Like, the finale of Part 5 is such a, for anyone who's seen it that's listening, it's something else.
David, let me tell you, it's bizarre.
It's bizarre, all right.
It's bizarre.
The ending of Part 2 is super bizarre because he literally flew in space.
Yep.
Not space, but like in the atmosphere. Ending of Part 3 fucked me up because spoilers. I won't say them, but because things happen and they made me sad. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited. Part 5.
All we can say is, if for some reason you still don't watch JoJo's, just do it. Just do it.
It's JoJo's, bro. It's JoJo's.
If you're listening to this, you need to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Just watch JoJo's.
Fucking bizarre.
Okay, boys. So some other cool news. Today, within the last 24 hours, the Promised Neverland Season 2, which we've reviewed here on the podcast. We reviewed the first season, sorry. The Promised Neverland Season 2 got an official release date. We knew it was coming in the next season. We just didn't know what the date was, so we have a date now. It's January 7th, I believe. That is the date that the first episode will come for Season 2 of the Promised Neverland, which is very, very exciting. And I think all of us here are excited because it is potentially the most...
I'm so excited.
I can't call it the most promising shonen because I guess technically that's Demon Slayer right now, right? But to me, it is the most.
Both of these are finished too. So.
But Promised Neverland to me is the most unique shonen anime that we've ever gotten. Yeah. So I'm excited to see the direction that we're taking it. So I don't know, boys. That's exciting. We have another release date, right?
Yeah.
A month from this episode, the new season of Attack on Titan will be hitting the airs. David still needs to watch it.
I need to add it to my list.
But for most of you out there, you're probably excited like I am. We've got Mappa taking over as the animation directors for it. And I gotta say,
Mappa?
I was worried. I was worried when it switched hands from Wit Studio, which did all the other seasons of Attack on Titan. They're amazing.
Yeah.
When it switched studios to Mappa, I was a bit worried because most of Mappa's track record is in the 3D realm, right? A lot of what they were producing, and still are, is sort of that weird 3D CG anime. But my faith has been quite restored thanks to an anime that I want us to chat about briefly before we get into our main topic tonight. And that's Jujutsu Kaisen. Right. And I was very worried about the idea of Mappa taking on a strong shonen weekly anime that really doesn't need 3D animation. I was like, come on, like, don't do Titan like that. Like, give us some traditional 2D, make the 2D models look really good and on character, make it work. I was worried, but watching Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm blown away. Boys?
I'm lost in paradise, one would say.
Lost in paradise.
So, I don't know if this is like a feeling people generally have, but this show makes me, like, I don't want to read the manga because I don't want to be spoiled by, like, the goodness of what's to come. I want to, like, take it in, like, little bite-sized pieces and just enjoy it, I feel like that's a good thing because it's like, I feel like if it was like whatever, I'd be like, oh, I just read it and then just move on with my life.
Yep.
But I think at this point there's only 5 episodes.
Yeah, 5 as of this recording. 6, I think tomorrow is when 6 comes out.
Oh, 6 does drop tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, every single episode I've just been, oh my god, like, and the next episode it's going to be some Naruto QB bullshit. Oh
shit!
I'm so excited. So
and, there's so many cool characters.
I mean, one thing that I said,
there's a panda, and I'm like, panda.
After episode 5, when I saw that there was just a human panda, I said, boys, are we in for some
show?
Come on, he's just a panda. Panda-kun is.
Fushiguro said, that's panda. And she said,
that's panda. What else is there to explain? It's panda, man.
Yeah,
it's so.
There's a couple things.
So
you kind of can have, like, I feel like with shonen, it's pretty easy to note whether or not. Oh, guys, I got some like fucking candy on my microphone.
Jerry.
Wait, is it those trolley corn?
Yeah. I spit a little bit on my mic.
Oh
my god! You said that was good.
I'm just over here like. No, I switched. Sorry, I switched to M&Ms.
Okay.
Yeah.
The less messier candy.
Here's what I'll say about shonen, right? Occasionally, you watch a new shonen and you know something special about it, right? When I watched the first episode of My Hero years ago, it's like you just know when you watch that first episode, this is gonna go somewhere. There's something going on here. Go rewatch the first episode of Bleach. Go rewatch the first episode of Naruto. Go rewatch, hell, even the first episode of Dragon Ball Z has this feeling about it where you can tell that no matter how stupid the story is, no matter how ridiculous the plots might get, no matter how faded this might become, there's something there that's going to outlast this series. And only a few shows in recent memory have like really made, My Hero, and to me, Demon Slayer as well. I think I like to flame Demon Slayer a little bit, but genuinely, when I watched the first episode of that show,
episode 1,
I said, something has happened here that's really good. And I think that, honestly, it did something the manga hadn't done, right? I think, I will say it and say it over and over again, UFO Table saved Demon Slayer. It saved Demon Slayer. And I don't know if this is the case with Jujutsu Kaisen. Obviously, I haven't read the manga. But I will say that other than... Jujutsu Kaisen is not an outstandingly popular manga series. It is a moderately popular shonen manga, one that has obviously lasted. It's held on to its place in Shonen Jump. And that's why it ended up getting an anime series. But by no means was it outperforming or really just being above average, right? Just barely above average. But I think Mappa, another outstanding animation. I mean, just B-stars, guys. Like, Mappa is just so clean. And
Banana Fish,
I think, I mean, at least well animated. But
that's pretty good.
Hey, Banana Fish is good. All right.
As much as I was worried Jujutsu Kaisen would just be another nothingness, I think Mappa injected so much energy and style into this show in the first episode that even though the story, I'll say it right now, the story is a carbon motherfucking copy of older shonens. Literally, there's a team of 3 Jujutsu sorcerers. One of them's a little bit off to himself. One's a little headstrong. One's, kind of a tomboy. And they have a fucking eye-wrapped sensei with white hair. Guys, it's literally Naruto, but with
it's Naruto and Bleach fused together.
Yeah, it's literally it's like the author took Naruto and Bleach and they just mixed it together.
Yeah,
but
with a little bit of Yu Yu Hakusho in there.
Yeah, they tossed in a little. They sprinkled in a little bit of like the Yu Yu Hakusho. They just took a lot of those tropes, which isn't bad. And I say this all the time about shonen anime. Being tropey isn't bad. It's bad when it's cliche. But if it's tropey, it can work. If you do something that makes the characters feel important. And in the very first episode of the show, we talked about it on the our episode where we went over all 13, but I don't think I mentioned this specific point. The very first episode, our main character visits his grandfather in the hospital. He has this deep moment, and the grandfather dies, and we see Yuji's reaction in the first episode to an integral moment of emotional reaction. And it's in that moment that you say, you either love Yuji or you don't. And in that moment, you know that he's something, that there's something there that is characterization that's going to be different. As of the recent episode, Fushiguro got a little bit of backstory that I'm ready for. I think there's so much fun to play with his character. So, where I gotta give Gege Akutama, that's the author of Jujutsu, he took the tropes and he elevated them. He elevated the tropes another time. I cannot believe how many times I'm looking at you, Black Clover. I'm looking at you. How many times a new shonen will come out and it will not elevate shonen tropes. It'll just use them and hope that it works. Hopes that it sticks. Fairy Tail, Black Clover, Fire Force. These are all anime and manga that have tried to they've tried to elevate shonen, but they have come up short, right? I think Jujutsu Kaisen proves in episode 1, again, I don't know if this is the manga's doing or if this is Mappa's doing, but they were able to map out a plot in episode 1 alone that elevated the game. Because at the end of episode 1, we are introduced to another shonen trope, which is this idea of a trapped demon inside of the character, which it wasn't there until the end of episode 1. So sorry for the spoiler. Yep. We talked about this before. And at the end of that, that's it's over. You took a trope, but they have brought it to another development. They said he's trapped in there, but Itadori Yuji is not trying to figure out how to control it. He doesn't give a fuck. He already has it under control. And I said, why? How? Who? What? And that's what I knew this was going to elevate that trope for us in the shonen genre. So I'm so excited because I am just like David. I won't read the manga. I almost did. And I'm like, no, I'm having way too much fun watching this weekly.
It's good.
And every weekend, I am stoked to watch a new episode for the last couple weeks. And, god damn, guys. Sorry, that was my... This was on my mind.
I think a really good point that you mentioned with very successful shonen, and I mean we saw this. I mean, like you said, like in the first episode of Bleach, the first episode of Naruto, the first episode of One Piece. There's like a very dramatic scene that the main character experiences. And you see them at a low point, and it just sets you up for your relationship with that character throughout the entire show. So I mean the first episode of all those the big three, you're instantly in love with those characters because you see them like get shit on, and they're the underdog. You want to see them do well and succeed, and then they become OP in the end. But
the valleys make the peaks feel so much better. Whenever Simon the Digger literally is depressed after his
this man talking about Girl in the Garden.
Best friend Kamina dies, and it takes like 5 episodes for him to come back together. Whenever he says, "Who the hell do you think I am? My drill is the drill that'll pierce the heavens," bro. You feel that because you felt those valleys. You saw Yuji. It gave us absolute silence on a picture. In the first episode, absolute silence, no noises, just a single picture of Yuji looking at his grandfather.
Mappa deserves a fucking award for that scene. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I want to read the manga version because that blew my mind, guys.
Yeah.
It was like kind of short, but it was like so like it was so impactful.
It was just the right amount of time of silence.
You remember
silent.
You remember when that sea beast ate Shank's arm?
Yep.
Remember that?
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
In episode 1, when Iruka stepped in and took that shuriken in the back of his back to protect Naruto? You guys remember that shit? You remember in episode 1 of My Hero when my boy Deku didn't have no powers? He bum rushed that villain. He bum rushed it. I said, if a mangaka can establish a shonen MC's intention and motive in the first scenes and never falter from that, you are in for one wild fucking ride. That's all I'm going to say. And holy shit, am I ready to love Itadori Yuji because he is an MC for like I love the fuck out. I mean, I didn't expect very few shows do I immediately get drawn towards the main character. I generally, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like generally fans of a show, especially long-running shonens, they kind of have their favorite side character. Honestly, like we all have our favorite. Yeah. But Yuji, what?
Hitsugaya.
Bakugo's my favorite.
There's always these side characters that are so fun and fleshed out. I mean, I love Rock Lee to death. I love Tenya to death. I'm a huge, but
Neji, rest in peace.
Itadori Yuji, I'm so ready for him to run the show. The only other MC that I think can even come close, like, I think slowly over time, I hated Naruto a lot more, the character, and then by the end, I started liking him a lot more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like kind of in the middle, you kind of are like, who the fuck? Like, fuck Naruto. You're like,
Naruto's like lame.
Yeah, but then by the end, he kind of becomes dope again. But there's very few main characters over time. I think Yusuke is a good example of a main character that just is incredibly likable, beginning to end. He's just likable.
Yeah, but that show has one of the best supporting casts ever. So
I fucking love the whole.
He and Kurama are even more likable.
Urameshi.
Yeah,
Urameshi. No, but what I'm saying is, Yuji just, I'm really ready for him to be himself. I think he's gonna be really good. Luffy is the only other character I can think of off the top of my head that is just unquestionably. He's just a lead character that people can't stop loving to the point where Oda is literally not allowed to not have him in a chapter. Like the editors get pissed if Oda's like, Luffy's going to be gone for 10 chapters. The editors are like, stop, slow down.
They get rid of Zoro for 300 chapters.
Yeah.
But Luffy's like, no.
Oda can get away with getting rid of anyone else, but if Luffy is off screen for too long, the fans revolt. They're like, we love Luffy. He always is the best.
Think about Luffy.
Oh, there it is. Kenny's disconnected tonight.
Think about what? Think about what?
Through the goal.
What do I think about?
We'll never know. Kenny, what are we thinking about, man?
What's up? Think about Luffy's characterization. Whenever Luffy says to Robin, tell me that you want to live. Whenever he turns around and look at Fujitora and says, we're going to have to fight him anyway. I'll fight you right here. Luffy does some shit, bro. Whenever he punches Bellamy, bro. Whenever he whacks Bellamy. What? Luffy does some shit where you're like, yeah, that's my captain. That's my captain.
And that character is there in chapter 30. You know what I mean?
Always. Yeah.
When he pops,
he's the same.
Arlong,
chapters.
When he hits Arlong with that fucking gum axe in the Arlong Park arc, You already know who Luffy is, dude.
God.
And he busts
Whenever
that
he
whole
takes
thing
his
down.
he takes his hat off and puts it on Nami and says, "Listen, I'm about to save you."
So I'm not saying that Jujutsu is gonna just catapult. It's gonna be the next Demon Slayer or something. It's not. I don't know if it's gonna be the next like super hot fad. I think a lot of people try to call that each season. Say, oh, this one's gonna be the next one. I don't know if there's really like any next layer to that. Like I don't know if that's gonna be Jujutsu exactly, but I do think that Jujutsu has so much potential, and it all has to do with Itadori Yuji and characterization, and that's it. I think that's where I'm at with it. So
even though Gojo might be my favorite character, and also there's another character pretty soon to be introduced that might be my favorite character, but Yuji
what do you guys
definitely
think of
makes me happy.
What do you guys think about the principal? The principal and his
Oh, I like
the stuffed animal.
Yeah, his stuffed animal. Yeah, I was like, what is it called? It's like, that was incredible. That was incredible. The panda, and I'm sure David loves it. But so the scene when he gets his outfit, and Gojo is like, oh, I saw your outfit, and he's like, wait, why does mine have a hood? And Gojo was like, cause I just felt like it, and I was like, damn, that's like. I feel like that's the author just telling us, like, I have style and grace, and you guys have to deal with it. So, David, I'm sure you love the streetwear style that goes, like, this show embodies, like, streetwear and, like, modern, very, like, modern aesthetic. David.
Oh, sorry. I got you. But especially, like, in the ending, the ending song, you see them, like, in just some fucking style. Like,
where's the drip
so drippy.
Where's the I'm surprised it's not a TikTok dance challenge yet. Can we start that?
What the heck?
Can we start the Uncensored Anime Podcast Jujutsu
The Lost in Paradise
TikTok dance challenge? I'm so surprised that's not already a thing, actually. Maybe it is. Maybe we're just behind the curve.
I bet it is. Yeah.
I just feel like the dances are too iconic in that ending song. I haven't skipped it yet, by the way. I've listened to it every single time I watch these shows.
I listen to it.
I listen to it all the way through.
General.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opening and the ending, I don't skip.
Can't skip it. I can't.
Just to talk even more on Jujutsu Kaisen, there's something in writing where if you make your characters interesting, if you say, younger Toguro doesn't drink, he likes orange juice. That's such an odd piece of information that is important to the character's characterization. And Jujutsu Kaisen does it so often, where like Gojo was sightseeing whenever he came to come to school, and the characters have other intentions, or they go to Shibuya, or where do they go in episode 3 with the girl and Yuji and the girl are
Tokyo, right?
Yeah. They're both like sightseeing and they're like excited. And they're like, oh my god!
Area in Tokyo that they wanted to see. It was maybe like Akihabara or something like that.
Yeah,
one of those.
Yeah.
Like,
and they're like let's go. And that sort of odd characterization where it's not even about your morals, or it's not characterization that's important to your plot. It's characterization for the sake of characterization. And that's something that I really love and really enjoy.
You know who's the master of that in shonen manga? His name is Ichiro Oda.
Oh.
And every single named One Piece character, which by the way, One Piece has one of the most named characters in the entirety of, like, I believe of manga of all time.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oda is the master, in my opinion, the master of characters that you didn't expect to have characterization, get characterization. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you would have ever guessed that Senior Pink would have gotten the storyline that he got, why did Senior Pink get that? Why did that happen?
It's so deep. It's so, oh my god.
It's heartbreaking, damn it!
Why is he dressed as a baby?
You forget that during Dressrosa, like, Kyros, the toy soldier, and Rebecca, those characters, we've never seen them again since, essentially, briefly, in the Reverie, but those two characters got intimate and intense backstory. And for those of you that are in the current arc of One Piece, there's a character named by the name of Chad Odin. No, his name is He's not
he is a Chad.
Odin
is, bro.
And Odin gets a very lengthy backstory, and this
like 10 chapters.
Yeah, this character, and what Oda just doesn't give a fuck. Like, and I think that Kenny, you making that comparison, Jujutsu Kaisen, again, I've seen 5 episodes, but I already feel that level of care for minuscule character moments. And if Mappa can hold that up in the animated version and the quality level that they're at now, if they can keep this up, I do think this is going to be a massive international hit. I think it's going to be like Demon Slayer, and by the time this is over, we're gonna know. Like, I bet we'll find Jujutsu Kaisen merch at Hot Topic next year, early next year. You know what I mean? Like,
the anime already is merch. Like it, I'm like, I would love to have a paint style ending of the ending song, like JoJo or
Oh, that'd be so cool.
That would be so dope.
I want everything from it. They already released the Nindroid for Yuji, and I need to pre-order. I forgot to pre-order it. Fudge, I forgot about it. This just reminded me that the pre-orders just closed, but I'll probably pick it up when it comes out.
Jerry.
I meant to pre-order it, but I forgot. But yes, the Nindroid has already been revealed, they obviously were planning it before the show came out, because the fact they already revealed it that fast. Yeah, so Jujutsu Kaisen, if you're not watching it, you're wrong, and you need to take a second. It's unquestionably, in my opinion, the best show of the season, and whether you're a shonen anime fan or not, this is a show worth giving your time. So give it a shot. Shit, that we've already taken up a lot of time before we even get to our main topic, which is sweet. No, because I still had one more thing I want to talk about before we get into our main topic.
It's fine,
guys.
You apologizing?
Guys, I am beyond excited for Shaman King to come back next year.
Shaman King.
I cannot get over how excited I am for this show. And I was so hyped. I watched the show when I was a kid, right? On Fox Box or whatever the hell it was called. And, had that opening. It's like, to be Shaman King. And the spirit is yours.
Was it 4 kids?
Yeah, it was 4 kids.
Yeah, for sure.
And I liked it a lot as a kid. I liked it a lot as a kid. I remember I used to draw Yo and Aminaru in my sketchbooks. I think I made a digital sprite of Yo as a Jump Ultimate Stars character. So this goes back to our topic later. Because I wanted Yo to be, Yo is in Jump Ultimate Stars. But I made I made from his colors from that a sprite for him to be in another game. I made him in the style of the Bleach 2D DS fighting game. I was so high. I used to love Shaman King as a kid, and I just totally forgot about it. I had not thought about Shaman King in years. And the fact they announced this new thing, I got really hyped, and so I've been hunting down the original manga volumes. So, for those of you listening, and for you two boys, I don't know if you guys know this, Shaman King, the manga in America, was published by Viz, right? Viz does a lot of manga publishing in America. But the manga went out of print a couple years ago. And all that means is just Viz has decided to stop printing it. But it's somewhere down the line, it seems like they've lost the rights to it or something like that. So they're never going to reprint it. So the original volumes, the single edition volumes, won't be reprinted. They're done. And that means you can't find them in bookstores anymore. And you have to go secondhand to get your hands on Shaman King at this point. So the value of those volumes has actually started to rise a little bit. The finale volume, I think I was looking online, it was $80 just to get the last volume of the series. One volume, a $9.99 volume for $80.
How many volumes are there total?
32 that were published in English. Only 32. There are 35 actually. The last 3 were a follow-up manga that the author wrote where he rewrote the ending. And this is what I was kind of saying earlier to you, David, before we started recording. There was an ending that he wrote, and then Takai changed his mind. And he ripped back and he just changed it. He was like, actually, I want it to be this. And he rewrote the ending. So there's an alternate ending essentially to Shaman King that exists. That extended it, and that was because they republished them as in Japan you publish each volume, they call it a tankobon, right? So it's a single volume, usually about 8 chapters of manga. They republished them as what's called kanzeban, so they put them into multiple volumes, 2 volumes in one, essentially, a 2-in-1 here in America. And America has started to copy that style. You can now buy a lot of 2-in-1s with hardbacks. JoJo's is being published that way. Berserk is being published in an even wilder, larger format. Soul Eater is being republished in that style. wasn't as popular a couple years ago in America, but now it's starting to come back. Shaman King got a republish in Japan. When they finished the republication of the Kanzebans, he rewrote the ending. He changed the ending and added new content. Really weird decision for Takai. And there's been multiple spin-offs since the ending of the show, including one that is still technically, I believe, in publication. So I think there's like 2 or 3 spin-offs that each have a couple volumes as well that were either overseen. There's a lot of Shaman King lore, but the anime series that was adapted way back in the day only adapted about 100 chapters of the original manga, and then created its own ending. It pulled a Full Metal Alchemist. It just sort of made up an ending for a finale, and ended up being pretty far off from what actually happened, because there are almost 200 chapters of unadapted content that happened after where they stopped. So the new remake is going to be really awesome. I hope they adapt the entirety of the story beginning to end. That's all we can really hope for, right? We really want the whole damn story. But I reread the first 2, so I've been hunting for the last couple weeks to track down some volumes of Shaman King for a good price. I didn't want to spend more than a couple dollars a volume. So I've been able to hunt down the first 8 volumes. I have the first 8 volumes on hand. They're actually on the shelf back here. You might be able to see them. And so I've read the first 2 volumes this week, and wow, guys.
Should I be excited?
I'm excited. I mean, okay, so a little bit of backstory.
about to summon his stand, bro, and
a little bit of backstory on Hiroyuki Takai. Prior to publishing Shaman King, right? He actually had a previous series in Jump called, I believe it was called Butsu Zone, and it got canceled super fast, right? But before he wrote Butsu Zone, him and Ichiro Oda both were like mangaka in training, right? They worked for another mangaka, which is Nobuhiro Watsuki, okay? And Nobuhiro Watsuki is the author and creator of Rurouni Kenshin, right? So Oda and Takai, they worked together under Watsuki. Watsuki's not a good guy, by the way, guys. He's not a good person, IRL. But they got to know each other. So Hiroyuki and Oda Shaman King debuted just a year after One Piece, because Butsu Zone and One Piece, I believe, debuted in the same year. They essentially both got into Shonen Jump simultaneously. Takai got canceled, and it wasn't until his second attempt that he had a long-running series, right? So then Shaman King landed, and it lasted from like 1998 until like 2005 or 2006, something like that. A pretty lengthy amount of time. So yeah, I think that this is a really cool... I mean, yeah, I read the first 2 volumes, and I'm just shook by the timeliness of the series. And yeah, I think people are going to really have a good time with the re-animated version. I think it's going to have a whole... You know how like when Hunter x Hunter came out in 2011, they redid it?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, it became like an anime phenomenon.
Yeah.
Right? And then remember when JoJo's came out, and they... What was that, 2012 or something? And it became an anime phenomenon. I'm calling it right now on this podcast.
Next JoJo's?
When Shaman King comes out next year, it's going to be a phenomenon. People are going to love it.
People
are going to love
Shaman King, man.
People already love it. They already have some nostalgia towards it. It's already a pretty popular shonen, but it's a shonen that never got its due. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It got an anime series, a long-running one that lasted for like a year and a half, 2 years, but it never was done right. And I don't think this is going to be like, you know what? This is not going to be like the craziest thing ever, but it's certainly going to blow some people's minds. I think we're going to have a lot of new little Shaman Kings running around. You know what I mean? Some of these new anime weebs that like think that they know everything about anime. They're like
Shaman King's great.
They're going to be like, oh my God, did you guys know Shaman King's the fucking GOAT?
Yeah, not to totally gatekeep, but
yeah, no, but you guys know what
I'm the keeper of the keys.
I'll keep like, this is a show that's mattered a lot to me, and rereading the manga was really cool because it reminded me of a lot of the important story parts I couldn't remember as a kid, I'm like remembering while reading it. So I'm excited to keep reading the manga. That's why I've been tracking it all down, because I want to read it all. It's getting republished finally next year in English, and I'll probably pick up those as well. But it's getting republished as the 2-in-1s. So sort of in the Kanzeban format, but in America. So the single issue of Shaman King will never be published again in America. So I do think the value of that collection will go up a little bit in time. Right. Because people, as much as like the 2-in-1s are like cool, people are going to want the OG singles if they exist. Yeah. And so, it's a cool look. So I'm trying to track down all of it. It's really expensive, but I don't want to spend very much.
Jerry?
So I know.
Jerry?
I need to not. But I'm trying to track down a little bit at a time. I have 8 volumes already. So I found 8 volumes. I paid less than $5 for each of them. So I was able to, at places like Half Price Books, local bookstores, you can still find them for, nothing. Because they either don't realize they're worth anything. You know what I mean? They'll just throw them in their manga pile and not realize that it's going for a lot more. But I did find one Half Price Books that had them marked up. So some stores noticed that their value's going up, which I was like, why I gotta.
Like $5, let me make it 15.
No, yeah, exactly. The one volume was 15 and one was 25. And I was like, God, are you kidding me? I was like, quit. I was like, it says $9.99. I said $9.99. That's not 25 isn't half price of $9.99. That's not how math works. No. But yes, I'm really excited for Shaman King, guys, and I think everyone should be. The redo should be really awesome. So if you're not tuned into that and you want to go check it out, the best way to get a hold of Shaman King is actually, the worst part about it is you either have to go to one of those infamous websites that has maybe some illegal manga on it, or
nobody does that here.
No,
or you're gonna have to track down the single issues in English. So, and there is some weird censoring in the single issues also.
Yeah,
that was it. Kind of took me back. Bullshit. Yeah, most of the blood and the violence is mostly kept intact. Some of the cursing is kept intact, but for some reason there was like he said "you" and then it showed like star asterisk exclamation point. I was like,
that's pretty funny.
I was like, just change the word to a like
you jerk.
Yeah, just make it. Yeah, just make you jerk, whatever. But instead they put a censored. I was like, this is weird.
Fuck.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what he called it. No, what, David?
Like censorship is like so like not cringe, but like it's so like it makes sense seeing in like early 2000s, but I feel like now like it's like so it's everywhere.
I'm about
to
say
it's like hard to
listen,
like,
David.
No one cares if a little kid sees the word fuck.
Listen, David. They're gonna do a Kids Bop version of Wet Ass Pussy, so this world is coming to an end. No, I don't know if I don't know if they're actually gonna do it, but can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Dude, no. Meow meow. I was standing in I was in a Target, and I heard Doja Cat's "Say So," the Kids Bop version playing, and I was like, "Isn't part of the chorus? For part of the chorus, doesn't she just say ass and titties?" I'm pretty sure that didn't need to know. Yeah, what the hell? Why did they need to adapt Doja Cat's "Ass and Titties Say So" to?
Why does Kids Bop still exist?
I don't know. Who's listening to? I guess kids are listening to it.
Who's paying for it? No. Who is putting these Kids Bops together?
Too many bops for the kids.
I don't know.
I'm just ready. I'm ready for moist meow meow, dude.
Moist meow meow.
I did find.
I'd rather just listen to the Japanese version.
Is there a Japanese WAP yet? Oh, the Japanese Rainy Chu's Say So in Japanese. Mwah, mwah. Yeah. I listen to that shit.
I don't know if there's a Japanese WAP. I wouldn't be surprised.
Honestly, knowing that girl, the girl who does those covers, she's probably done it already or is planning it. Yeah. And if not, then hey, Rainy Chu, if you see this, please make a Japanese version of WAP right now. Because I need that in my life. No. Okay, boys. Let's talk about games.
You got all the news out of your system? All the news?
Let's talk about games. Our top story tonight. Let's talk about games.
Our top story tonight is, I'm at a crossroads in my life.
Oh, geez.
Where I have to choose.
Here we go, boys.
Which 2D waifu truly stands above all of us. And I know it's Lucina.
Wait.
But, maybe I should play more anime games to find out. And so I want to talk tonight about games and anime and how games often follow similar anime tropes and styles, especially in the Japanese RPG subset, as well as other types of games like gacha games. And basically tonight we're going to talk about why I'm going to play Genshin Impact. And I'm going to pull all the waifus. Because I need them. I need waifu. And that's my life.
Yep.
I like waifus. And I want them.
But before we start the discussion, I'm just curious. Like, so we've seen and we've played together actually over the years a lot of video games that are based off of anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And one of them that we've talked a lot on the show before, Jump Ultimate Stars, which was a DS game.
Yep.
I don't think there was an English version, so you had to either import it from Japan or just play a ROM of it.
Yep.
Very fun. First, I wanted to ask you guys first, do you guys have a favorite video game based off an anime? Do you have a least favorite? Just like which ones come to mind when you think of video games based on anime?
Video games based off of anime and not vice versa? Not
vice versa. Well, we can do vice versa.
We can talk about, I think we need to talk about animes based off video games later as a separate discussion. So, Kenny, your opening point about Genshin Impact, and it's a waifu gambling simulator, by the way.
It's waifu the game. Okay?
No, it's not even waifu the game. It's gambling on hot women, 2D hot women. That's literally what it is.
Pause. They're not really like hot. They look like children. So,
ew. Okay. Are you serious? I thought they had big titties.
Some of them have big titties.
Some of them do, but like if you want to if you want to play like a gacha game for like hot women, you got to play Epic 7.
Oh, David has
what is that one?
So you're telling me that Genshin Impact it's not just a waifu simulator. It's in its own genre. There's a genre of waifu gacha games.
You don't play Genshin Impact for waifus. You play it because you want to have a gacha experience along with the Breath of the Wild experience. If you want a waifu,
I've not heard anyone
experience. You play Epic 7.
I want to play Genshin Impact because I need to earn all the waifus.
I thought people were only playing Genshin Impact for the women. I didn't realize that it also had a fun game underneath.
Yeah, it's a fun game.
It's a very fun game. I've a few hours.
Oh, David, have you logged a couple hours on a Genshin Impact, my man?
Yeah, it's fun because I love Breath of the Wild, so I'm like, I like gacha games. I love Breath of the Wild.
Who's your top unit, dude? Who's your guy?
I don't remember their name. So there's like a boy. He has a sword.
No,
they have boys in there.
What?
Yeah. I use a boy.
You guys, David. David.
I'm telling you this right
honestly,
now.
Kenny.
Okay?
Honestly, Kenny. Bonk.
If you play any game, any Japanese style anime game, and your party isn't all girls, why are you even playing them?
Oh my lord!
What are you thinking,
bro? Kenny, bonk. You go to horny jail, Kenny. You're done. No, I'm just
honestly every Final Fantasy game.
Yuffie and Tifa.
Yeah.
Give me Riku and Lulu. Come on.
Okay.
If you're playing Final Fantasy 8, you got your Quistis, you got your Selfie, and Squall.
My favorite Final Fantasy character, my favorite Final Fantasy girl is the green-haired girl from Final Fantasy, was it 6? Rydia.
Terra?
Oh, no, Terra.
Terra from 6, yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, Final Fantasy 6 is a good one to play with all girls, okay?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Okay, so yes, the quest for the ultimate waifu proceeds. And certainly has to be talked about further because how will we ever know?
We should have a whole episode about best waifu. We should have like a waifu tournament.
Oh,
for sure. But what I'm saying is that Fire Emblem, like a game like Fire Emblem, has sort of anime aspects that are built into the game. What?
There's a Fire Emblem gacha game. It probably has waifus, right?
There is. Fire Emblem Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
I played Fire Emblem Heroes for a good amount of time, but as soon as I got Lucina in the bunny outfit, I understood one very true thing: nothing could be better than this. And so I stopped playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I got Lucina in the bunny outfit. What else?
Summer Lucina.
There is nothing better than Buncina. So I just stopped playing.
What'd you call? Hey, please repeat that, Kenny. What'd you call her?
Buncina.
One more time.
Buncina.
Oh, like Bunny and Lucina put together.
Okay. Yeah.
Because she got bun.
Because she got buns, huh? Isn't Bunny Suit Ariana Grande also in a Final Fantasy game or something?
That's that Final Fantasy gacha game.
That's crazy, dude.
But yeah, I think that in even Final Fantasy, which we mentioned briefly,
has these sort of anime tropes. Like Cloud is a
classic anime protagonists.
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah. It's Japan, dude. They know what they're about.
Exactly. The story structures and styles in Japanese RPGs often very much mirror what I like and enjoy in anime.
Right.
And having what?
No, keep going. Sorry, I was gonna start the next sentence, but you had something else to say.
And I think that's very cool. And I think that like games like Persona, which are literally just like playing anime, are another sort of avenue that anime as a hobby can be enjoyed through. And I really just enjoy that. And I think that it's very cool that those sorts of things occur.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Wow, why am I yawning like that?
Did that point bore you, Jerry?
I guess. Jesus Christ.
Jerry hates
Fuck.
anime.
Jesus. No, so David, your question, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
When we think anime games based off of anime,
yep.
what comes to mind? And I'll say it right now. Dragon Ball Z, Budokai.
Yep. Oh.
Tenkaichi 3?
I mean, any of the Budokais, but
okay, let's
to me,
honest.
Budokai 3 and Tenkaichi 3, oddly enough, do stand out.
Yeah.
Like, nobody played Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. Like, I don't even know why they made that one. But Budokai 3?
Budokai 3?
Budokai Tenkaichi 2? Never heard of it. Budokai Tenkaichi 3? That shit's hot.
You hear 3 and you don't think of, there was obviously a 1 and a 2. You just think 3.
2?
That's all I
Trash.
need.
We need 3. We need the third one.
3.
I'm surprised there's not. I'm just waiting for Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. That's probably going to be the best one, too.
Oh, yeah.
No, but when I think anime games, I always think back to my experience playing Budokai as a kid because I don't know how much you remember it, David, but the OG Budokai, the first 3 Budokais are all on a 2D plane, but in 3D models. Then Tenkaichi allows you to open up and you can fly around and shit. And that, as a kid,
that was wild.
I was like, what? I said, Goku can what?
Yeah. And that's the style of a lot of anime fighters now. Like there are standard 2D fighters, but the Ninja Storm games, the JoJo's Eyes of Heaven game, tons of anime fighting. What's the Jump?
To a lesser extent,
Jump Force.
Yeah,
Jump Force.
J-Star's Victory versus One Piece. What was it called, boys?
I don't know.
One Piece. There was a One Piece fighting game.
Oh, Pirate Warriors, which is
a little different, but yeah. So yeah, a lot of anime
Fighters.
games have sort of gone in that direction with the fighters. Even My Hero 1's Justice to an extent is sort of that 3D plane of fighter. I would say Tenkaichi is the reason that ever happened, right? Like, if Tenkaichi hadn't been as successful as it was, would have other anime games ever experimented? Because if you remember, Kenny and David, you guys probably played them too. Do you remember where the Naruto fighting game started? The original Ultimate Ninja series was 2D. It was 2D just like Budokai.
Was it really?
It was. Well,
What?
3D, it was 3D models on a 2D plane. You couldn't...
Because there was the... what was it called? Was it Clash of Ninja?
Maybe.
No, I think that was an arena fighter.
Oh yeah, you're thinking. Is that? I think that was one on GameCube. The one I'm thinking of is the Ultimate Ninja series, which the Ultimate Ninja series is crazy because there was like 4 games or 4 or 5 on the PS2, like 3 on the PlayStation Portable. And then there's like 4 more on the PlayStation 2, 3, and 4. I think there was like 2 on the 3 and like 2 on the 4, but they ported all of them up to the 4 also. Because then it became Ultimate Ninja Storm when they moved it up. And then there's Generation. Yeah, there was just so many. But that game eventually evolved into being a 3D planar fighter as well. And I think Tenkaichi is the reason that they ever tried that with Naruto. But yeah, for me, Budokai is the first experience because I just remember staying up late at night for hours, trying to unlock every capsule in Budokai because you could unlock all the moves and you could give different characters different moves. I remember just unlocking every character because Budokai 3 had like 100 characters or some shit. You had to move around the map.
I think it's like one of the games that has the most playable fighting characters.
In
it.
It wouldn't even surprise me because there's that one game. Isn't there like one stupid game that has like more playable fighters than all of them? It's like not even an anime game. It's like some game that they like made it just to have
the most people in it.
Yeah, they made some stupid game just to just to do it. Yeah. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Do you guys know? Let me look it up. I'm looking it up.
It's some dumb name. I can't remember.
I don't remember. But I do think, anime often does lean into fighters. And even now, they're anime fighter. Like.
Oh, wait.
Dragon Ball FighterZ is one of the
best. It looks like just this year,
there is.
A wrestling game beat the...
No way.
Yeah. They beat
WWE?
it. Yeah, no. Fire Pro Wrestling Returns. What is this game with 327 playable characters?
Oh my god.
We don't count that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, does that even count?
But okay, if they made a JoJo's fighting game off the Dragon Ball FighterZ engine,
like an anime fighter style.
Yes, David.
That would be insane. Would be insane.
And it would be crazy because ArcSys, is it ArcSys?
ArcSys.
Who made the old JoJo's Fighter, Kenny? Oh, Capcom. Okay, David.
Capcom.
If you don't know, way back in the day, there was a 2D fighter that Capcom actually produced. That's JoJo's.
Yep.
And if you've never played it, it's mind blowing.
It looks just like MVC2, right? But it's JoJo's characters.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Mind blowing.
They have such a large swath of characters too that a fighting game would be so fun.
And when the day comes that we get a Dragon Ball FighterZ level JoJo game,
oh my god!
I'm shitting a brick.
Bro.
I'm shitting a brick.
The pose.
I'm shitting a brick. Someone call ArcSys. They need to make me shit a brick because, hey, Arc System Works, make a JoJo 2D fighter because Jerry's gonna shit a brick.
I would. Yeah, but, that would be an amazing game. JoJo's
bro.
I would do anything. I would throw all my money. I don't have a lot of it, but I'll just throw it all.
And I will say there was a PS3 fighting game. Kenny, was it called All Star something? JoJo's. The one we were watching the other day.
Yeah, All Star.
It's like All Star.
Battle. Yeah, I don't know. They said it's some words.
It's pretty hard to track down nowadays because it only released, I think, on the PlayStation 3 Marketplace.
Yeah.
It was a JoJo's.
It didn't even a physical release?
I don't think it, not in the US. I think it did in Japan.
Actually, lots of anime games and Japanese games like that
don't get.
Yeah. Phoenix Wright, like the last couple games have only been download only.
Yup.
Which visual novels is another thing I like to talk about.
But yeah,
those style of games.
What was I gonna say? Okay, yeah. JoJo's, that would be freaking dope. I think we'd all love to see it like that. I think I keep saying it, but why don't we have a One Piece 2D fighter like fighters? Yeah. You know? Could you imagine that?
Honestly.
Guys, like like One Piece has so many characters to play around with, and Burning Blood, that's the game I was thinking of earlier. The last 3D kind of like arena fighter they did was really fun for me at least. And pretty well done. It didn't get the best reviews, but I thought it was actually. I played it all the way through. I had a lot of fun with it.
Okay, let me say it right now. Shonen Jump needs to team up with Arc System Works and just make a new style Jump Ultimate Stars in the style of Dragon Ball FighterZ for Shonen Jump characters. Let me fight Luffy and Yusuke. Let me fight JoJo and Dio. They need to team up. Arc System Works needs to team up.
What do we call? Jump. Someone needs to hire this man right now. Kenny, get on a plane to Japan. We're done. No.
Look, we could put Deku in the game. He's popular.
Could you imagine?
I feel like a game like that would sell millions.
I mean,
of dollars and copies.
Well,
and then it would be an Evo, And I think that Dragon Ball FighterZ has a great the destructive finish aspect, and fighting games in general are hype. And I think that an anime is hype, and so having those cool ass destructive finishes in tournaments are so crazy. Like if you have Gohan beat Cell in a grand finals where you come back and it plays that cinematic,
it's so hype.
Yeah,
like watching Evo with those types of dramatic finishes just makes things like the watching experience so much more enjoyable.
And they don't skip intros either. Like there's like a unwritten rule where in Dragon Ball FighterZ you don't skip intros because you want your characters to walk out and say their shit. It's about to go down. So I think
it's like you're actually watching the anime to an extent.
The game Dragon Ball FighterZ shipped over 2 million copies in its first week, becoming the fastest selling Dragon Ball game of all time. It also set a stream record for the highest number of concurrent users for a fighting game. It was the most entered fighting game at EVO, the year that it got put in EVO.
2018, I think?
Something like that. It was the most entrants into a fighting game at EVO. It now is sitting at over 5 million copies sold. And if that's not indicative enough of what anime fans want, then I don't know what is. You know, like, we enjoy the fan servicey. You know, Jump Force is terrible. But we really want that. A serious game, fighting game, where we can play as our favorite characters. And that's all we want. Like, Kenny said it perfectly. If they made a Shonen Jump fighter with just fucking 15 characters, put like 15 solid main characters and maybe like a couple of their homies or a bad guy or two here or there.
Right.
And it was developed at the level of intricacy as Dragon Ball FighterZ, it would take the world by storm. I mean, I don't know if there would be any... If I could play as Goku, switching back and forth with Gon and fucking Pegasus Seiya to fight Vegeta and, I don't know, fucking Aizen and, I don't know, Hisoka or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if that was my 3v3 team and it was a 2D fighter and it looked like fighters and everything was moves from the manga and anime and there was an actual legitimate, like, combo set play style, I'd shit a brick. Yeah. I mean...
That should a whole damn house.
I should a house.
Yeah, and I think the beauty
better find a plot of land because here it comes, boys. No.
The Marvel vs. Capcom structure of having teams of 3 is so cool, and it, you know, that's what you want. You want to have a cool team of anime protagonists beating the shit out of other anime guys. Like, what up?
So can we talk about the best game to ever do it then? Because
what do you mean?
David mentioned it earlier, right? Jump Superstars and Jump Ultimate Stars is the best crossover anime games ever?
Probably, yeah.
Is that, I mean...
Are they the only?
Well, I mean, Victory Versus and Jump Force since.
But we don't count those, though.
The other side, Weekly Shonen Sunday has a couple crossover games. So, like, Fairy Tail and that squad of people have some crossover games. That only really came out in Japan. You know, I'm sure there's others even that I'm just forgetting. Battle Stadium Dawn, where it was like Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto fighting each other on the GameCube.
That was a fun game.
Yeah, that's another fun one. There's a lot out there, but to me, Jump Superstars and Jump Ultimate Stars, yeah, it's a 2D fighting game on the DS, but like, you can play it for hours, dude. Like, it's just so much fun. Like, it's Smash Brothers meets 2D party game meets 2D fighter. You know, with a little bit of like figuring out your team by like building these like manga panels.
Yeah,
and like
that's one of the coolest aspects
part
of the game.
Yeah, it's like put your team together with these manga panels. Click to switch characters. There's all sorts of different challenges. I mean, just a fun game to play. Even as someone that's an American speaker, I played it for hours. I feel like my old copy, I had almost 100%ed it, and I had like the English guide like saved on my freaking desktop, so I could like sit there and like you know, look at what all the rules were, and I'd like and I'd like play it, and I'd like switch back and forth. Kid me loved Jump Ultimate Stars. Like, gosh, there's just no, they haven't recaptured that in any of the other Jump games, and we all hoped it was going to happen with J-Star's Victory Versus Plus. I think we all hoped it was going to happen with Jump Force. We saw that first trailer where Light's standing on that tower, and he's like, and then it turns out Jump Force is actually just a steaming pile of shit. It was a surprise. It was just a steaming pile of shit in disguise, guys.
Who would have thought?
It was
who would have guessed? I'm gonna look up who.
Probably steaming pile of shit studios. If I had to guess.
I don't know why they need to stop putting money into these bad games and just do like team up with Arc Sys or team up with Capcom.
Don't worry, Kenny. There's a new. They're about to put more characters into into Jump Force. Yeah, I think they just announced more DLC.
Like EA.
Yeah,
I think EA was like recently added.
Mm-hmm. They've. I think they also added Killua, maybe.
Oh, yeah. And Black Clover.
Or no, not Killua. Miriam. God, I can never say his name. The bad guy, Meruem, got added.
Dive from Dragon Quest was added too.
Yep, Giorno Giovanna got added. Giorno. They added Giorno. They added Hiei. They put in Law from One Piece. They added a bunch of My Hero guys. Yeah, All Might, Bakugo, and Todoroki all got added as DLC. Hitsugaya got added as DLC from Bleach.
Biscuit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of characters that they. Yeah. I'm just still. It doesn't make it a better game. You can't just cram more DLC characters in there and hope the game gets better. Too bad, Jump Force. You missed your chance. Make new game. Make better. That's what I'm going to tell them.
And you even can look at ArcSys's BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle.
Incredible.
Where they've got their BlazBlue characters. They've got characters from Under Night In-Birth.
Right.
They've got characters from Persona, the Persona Arena characters, and they've got characters from Ruby. And like that sort of eclectic band of characters put in an anime fighter. Anime fighters, I are my favorite style of fighters. Like I love Street Fighter. I'm whatever about Tekken, but anime style fighters like BlazBlue, like Dragon Ball fighters are my favorite.
Where does that originate? Where did the anime fighter originate? I can't remember like where. Like, what is one of the oldest examples of an anime fighter? Because
I think the earliest one, there was like a Super Nintendo game. It was like a Dragon Ball Z game, and it was a fighting game. And I think every single anime game, shonen anime game since then has just been like fighting.
Yeah, it's like it's weird to me that it's so like ingrained. Like the anime fighter is like it's just a thing, right? Like we just can't get away from it.
It's its own style of fighting game. Honestly.
Right now it has become like Dragon Ball FighterZ, BlazBlue. Those are a style of fighting games with a unique set of like rules. Guilty Gear, right, predates that as like a very serious anime styled fighter.
Yeah, because like in Street Fighter, there are characters that are similar, and a lot of the motions and movements are the same. But anime fighters often have the special button where each character has a very distinct style of fighting. Right? They have a very like their special moves are only their special moves, and they play exactly how they play.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that leans really heavily into anime and manga because each character is like that. And I think that a shonen 3-button fighter with a special button would be so cool. Think the special buttons for Dio and Jotaro would summon their stands. Like think about that. Or the use of Nin for Gon.
I just nutted. It's done. Yeah. Game over, dude.
You know that Goku and Vegeta, their special button would be a transformation button. Super Saiyan 2. Like, I think that, having the distinct specialty for each character it leans into how anime and manga characterize their characters.
Right.
Think sorry, Kenny.
No, I was just going to think about Yuji Itadori. Like, what would his special button be? I think that those sorts of ideas, thinking about what would their special moves and abilities be, is so fun to think about. Just to think about if you were creating it, I feel like it'd be really fun to do.
So to kind of change gears a little bit, so out of curiosity, and this is probably an easy, obvious question, but do you guys think that the anime sells the games, or do you think the games sell the anime?
Okay, I gotta be upfront. I think that there was a time when the games, strangely enough, this is gonna sound weird, in the United States, the games were selling the anime. I think that there was a time where games like One Piece, Pirate Cruise on the GameCube, and Dragon Ball Z Budokai, people were playing the games first and then going back and watching the show. I do think that happened. I can name people from my childhood that was their experience. I think now, due to the flip in the culture of anime, which we've talked about a little before,
right,
the popularity of it's now reversed. People are, even if maybe they see the 7 Deadly Sins PlayStation game or whatever, and they're like, oh, what is that? They most likely are only picking that up because they have an interest in anime in general, and then they might go check out 7 Deadly Sins after they played the game if they liked it. So maybe there is still a little bit of it, but I think more clearly now people have switched, and they're picking up. I'm only going to buy an anime game from an anime I've watched or that I'm a fan of at this point, like, especially just because of the staggering the quality of anime games is pretty fucking low, and nowadays, unfortunately, so it's mostly just like fan service at this point. Very few anime games really are great games, and the last one in my mind is Dragon Ball FighterZ. That was a great video game, more so than it was just a great anime game. Mm-hmm. Hey, Dragon Ball FighterZ might be the best anime game of all time, honestly.
There's a Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, which is fairly new, which is based on a phone game, which became an anime. It had the animation, and then had the anime style fighter. Mm-hmm. That one's fairly new, and also I think is a great fighting game.
I think that one's pretty popular.
Yeah, but then I also want to talk about.
Wait, you think that game sells the rest of the source, or wait? I got confused.
I think that people pick up the fighting game first, and then tune into the anime and possibly the old phone game.
It's selling the rest of the media franchise. That makes sense.
Yeah. I know that I was never interested in the show, but as soon as the game came out, I became interested in the show.
Actually, I didn't even know there was other media in it. I thought it was just a game, and I've been wanting to play it. So that's really weird that it
I didn't know there was an anime either.
It got me.
So, and then I also want to talk about like visual novel style puzzle games, I guess, like Danganronpa, like Phoenix Wright, that are basically just like reading a manga, if we're being totally honest.
Yeah.
Right. It's reading a fun manga, and Danganronpa in particular is so wonderfully anime that once it became an anime, it was so obvious, but it was such a cool and fun
David,
game.
you watch it?
You ever seen Danganronpa?
I haven't. It's on my Steam wish list. I've been wanting to play the games first.
The games are fun.
Watch the anime.
I think actually the second game is better than the first one, which is the first one was a really fun, really interesting game.
Here's the thing about the anime, David. Season 1, a lot of fun. Then they pretty much just gave a big fuck you to everyone that watched the first season, and they adapted the third game as the second season, or some stupid shit.
Season 1 is the first game, then the second game story happened, and then season 2 is
it's a sequel to the second game, right?
It's a sequel to the second game as well as a prequel to the second game, because it runs in 2 blocks. So there are things that occur after the end of the second game, and there are things that occur prior to the events of the second game, leading up to it.
And this is why I never watched. I watched the first season. I loved it. Season 2 came out. I said, well,
we're a fan, not a fan?
Fuck Danganronpa. No, I just didn't even try it. I didn't watch it because I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, he didn't see the game.
I didn't play the game, so I was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "I can't watch this."
I see.
Yeah, so I don't know why they did that, because they brought in a huge fan base with the first season that got people interested. So why not just directly adapt the second game? Like, why the fuck did they do that? I don't know. I'm pissed.
Because the second game is so good, and
it's so
initially,
good,
I guess I have to fucking play it. Guess I gotta fucking play it.
You couldn't actually play the first game in English. The second game came out first.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Dude, fuck Danganronpa, dude.
I played.
The timeline's fucking me.
Yeah, it's not good.
The first game, I think, on like a shitty ROM on my old computer, and it didn't run correctly, and so you would blink like this through the hallways, and I would just have to be like, oh, I don't know. But once you would get to any of the visual novel parts or the trial sections, everything will work fine.
Right.
But just walking through the hallways, I would be like,
oh no, Kenny's laptop.
Yep.
It was fucking
2008.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, Kenny? What about Danganronpa though? Now that we're down this rabbit hole.
I just think that those types of games, like there are different avenues through which anime is expressed through games. I think that's one that I really enjoy. I'm a big fan of visual novel style puzzle games, like Phoenix Wright, like Danganronpa, like Zero Escape, and I think that it's not talked about as much. And I think that a lot of cool and fun and interesting characters are created in these sort of visual novel games.
Well, yeah,
Zero Escape.
Well, they're just animes, but you play them.
Yeah, they're just animes, but you play them, and that's what I like. Okay?
That's literally all it is.
Zero Escape, the second Zero Escape game is one of the best puzzlers, and
here's an example of here's an example of the guy that figured out that this is what we're gonna do. He goes, wait a second, it's like anime, but we play it. And that's it. That's it. That's
it.
That's the moment. He said, "No way, we're gonna sell millions. We're gonna sell billions.
Yeah.
It's like anime,
and
but you play it."
And there are tons of like literal visual novel games that I don't play a ton of them, but the particular outcropping of puzzlers that are visual novel games are really fun and interesting, and the way they work the gameplay mechanics into the story is really cool, and I really enjoy those types of games.
Kenny, what else is the to me, Danganronpa and Phoenix Wright are
pretty much identical.
No, but they're like the standard bearers in the United States. Is there any other visual novel that has, because in Japan most of the visual novels people are playing are not, they're romance games. To be upfront, what is there another like example of anything?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, David, I forgot about Doki Doki.
Yeah. Just literally you just point and click and you just follow.
No, that is one. It is a visual novel, and it is it did have kind of a big following here in the U.S. to the point where like Alyssa has a Doki Doki Literature Club blanket. She's never played it. She has the blanket.
There's a
I've played it. I've never finished it, and apparently the ending is wild.
It's a mind fuck, right? Yeah.
There's one big visual novel that a lot of people talk about. It's called, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it. It's called Fate Stay Night.
But Fate Stay Night is a multimedia franchise. I have such a hard time calling it.
At this point.
Fate Stay Night didn't start as a visual novel, did it? That started as a light novel.
It started as a visual novel. Novel game. And you're
right.
The three scenarios were based on who you romance and shit. So
they're still adapting pathways of that into anime, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's like part of what's God, fucking Fate, dude.
Yeah,
that's
but
crazy.
Then
You're right.
Fate spun out of control.
That's got to be the Fate. The Fate universe has got to be the other.
There's
example
so
of,
many Fate.
It's a hyper example of a visual novel that has become worldwide fame, like has that appearance.
And there's also actually another big one that I really love is Professor Layton. Is a great visual novel, anime style puzzler.
It's a Japanese puzzle game. I don't know if it fits wholly into the.
There's an anime movie.
Isn't it like actual like an anime adaptation of it?
Yeah,
there is. But like the original first Professor Layton, Kenny, and you and I both played it. Like, it was never designed to be a like point and click through a novel. It's a puzzle game in its first incarnation, really, that has just developed a lot of like visual novel-esque storylines as the series has gone on. But it's
super duper anime.
It's a Japanese production. It just, it's definitely not artistically in anime, like traditional anime style. It's more of a quirky anime style. But
there are tons of anime cutscenes. Even like one of the. Like, there's a long anime cutscene at the end of the game.
No, yeah, I just am saying that I don't think its original intent was ever to be, like, competitive in the visual novel path. I think it was intended to be more of, like, a brain teasers.
A puzzler.
It's a puzzle game that just developed so much of a cult following that the creators were like, we could write fun stories, And that's where it kind of, like, went out of control. And not out of control. The later games have really cool stories. mixed in with the puzzles.
Some of the coolest, yeah.
Yeah, so really fun stories.
Translating in the chrono.
But so yeah, that it's just interesting how little the visual novel genre. To me, the genre of anime games that have the biggest presence in the United States are the fighting games, and we've already spent a lot of time talking about that. A majority.
Number two.
Huh? Say it,
number two, I'd say, are Japanese RPGs.
Yeah. JRPGs also have a good following here in America, but JRPGs aren't ever. Wait, maybe you guys know an example. Is there a JRPG where the anime came first?
Not often. I know that the Tales of games, in particular, have a lot of anime adaptations.
Right. No, there have been lots of animes made of JRPGs. That JRPG comes first, and then an anime gets made from it. But I can't think of any off the top of my head that there was an anime first, and then it got turned into a really serious JRPG.
Maybe Sword Art, but I don't know enough about Sword Art games.
I haven't played any of them. Yeah, I mean they've made
all just hack and slash.
They've made some pretty cool JRPGs for One Piece. The Treasure Cruise series that was on the Wii.
One on the one on the Wii.
It was the one on the Wii.
Really
the one on the
cool,
Wii.
Really fun.
And then they kind of tried to follow it up with that most recent game. I can't remember what it's called. The most recent One Piece game that was on the PlayStation. Yeah. That one sort of has JRPG elements, but they dialed it back quite a bit. The Treasure...
There's a Dragon Ball Z game that just came out.
Oh, yeah. Kakarot. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. That's the latest Dragon Ball Z RPG as well. So they've definitely rolled out...
It's basically Burst Limit.
Yeah, exactly. It's when they create these shonen RPGs, to me, they're always very top layer. You never get a very intense... JRPG. I would love to see them take a world like JoJo's and make a Persona level of depth RPG out of it. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
What kind of wild experience would that be to play a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure JRPG where you're actually full blown.
I mean, Persona is basically JoJo's.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was comparing.
It is JoJo. It's basically JoJo.
They have stands almost. That's why I was thinking of it. But. That would just be super cool. But I just can't think of any. Most of the time, when you think JRPG, it gets adapted into an anime. There's a lot of JRPGs that have been turned into animes, though, right? Final Fantasy has a bunch of anime. Dragon Quest,
obviously.
Persona, Dot Hack. Jesus, lots of JRPGs.
I think the Atelier series have anime adaptations.
Yeah,
and there's the Trails in the Sky, Trails of Cold Steel.
Yeah.
Issa.
What was that? You remember the Xbox JRPG that was animated by the guy who made Slam Dunk?
Blue Dragon?
No. Blue Dragon is. They made an anime out of Blue Dragon though too. No, there was one that was. It was made by the guy who made Slam Dunk, and it was Xbox's first JRPG, and they Carlos loved it as a kid.
I love Slam Dunk.
Go look it up. Takehiko Inoue, he did the illustrations for a game. I can't think of the name of the game, but
there's that classic SNES game that sort of had anime aspects.
I love it when mangaka get dragged in to do RPG game designs or designs for games. I always think it's so cool. The guy
Akira Toriyama's done so many.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger, Blue Dragon, Dragon Quest. What else has Toriyama been sucked into? I don't know, but yeah, Toriyama will do. I think he'll do anything for a job, dude. No, that man is just gonna do anything.
Damn.
I don't know.
They need to get Tite Kubo to make some JRPG characters.
Yeah,
just to design a game.
Kubo design?
I believe he did one. Yeah, he worked on a game.
Did he have his own game, or did he just design some characters for a game?
He designed some characters for a game.
I thought he designed some characters for a Soul Calibur game. Is that what I'm remembering? Because that was pretty cool.
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey. Thank you, Kenny.
No, that's a really good one.
Wait, did he really?
Have you heard of Lost? No, Lost Odyssey is the. Isn't that the Takehiko game or?
Yeah, that's the Slam Dunk.
That's the Slam Dunk guy. Yes, Lost Odyssey was the name of it. I'm trying to remember Tite Kubo. Let's look it up. Game characters. I thought he designed characters for Soul
Sakura Wars.
Sakura Wars. I've not even played that. Who was the guy who made Soul Calibur characters? I thought there was a mangaka who got dragged in to do Soul Calibur characters. Am I
Toriyama, maybe?
No, it definitely was not Toriyama. Soul Calibur manga.
Hiro
anime characters.
Hiraki?
Oh, I think
What?
not Oda. What's the Naruto authors?
Masashi Kishimoto?
I think Kishimoto designed some characters for Soul Calibur.
No, don't. Now you're just saying whatever. I'm like, wait.
No, I'm for real, bro.
Stop, dude.
I think it was actually Iraqi.
Oh,
I think
no,
Iraqi designed them.
Kishimoto designed that Tekken character.
Stop. Did he really?
Yeah, remember? What's that dumbass's name?
Lars?
Lars.
Yeah. Because
Did he
Lars
really?
is a playable character in Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Oh, is he
He
really?
designed the Tekken character.
That's actually pretty cool. I didn't know that. Guys, I've got to figure out who the Soul Calibur one I'm thinking of is.
Manga author. I remember he designed like 3 characters for Soul Calibur 4.
Who were these ones that I'm... Guys, you got to help me figure this out, please. Before the end of this podcast, someone's got to figure it out for me.
Well, while we're figuring that out.
I figured it out!
Who is it?
Kenny, do you remember the manga Air Gear?
Oh, yes.
Soul Calibur 4, there's a character named Ash Lottie, is her name. 4. And that character was designed by Oh Great, the author of Air Gear and Tenjo Tenge. I was like, why can I not remember this shit? Yes.
Tenjo Tenge is a fucking...
They brought in Oh Great to design those characters. I was about to blow a gasket if I couldn't think of that, y'all. That was about to make me so mad. Whatever. So,
Damn,
okay.
I forgot about Air Gear. I want to watch Air Gear now.
Let's talk. So, we've talked a lot about games we really like, games that have come over to America. We've talked about JRPGs. We've talked about fucking visual novels. We've talked about fighting games. We've talked about all the good goods. David briefly brought it up. What is the worst of the worst? What's the worst of the worst when it comes to anime games? What do we hate about anime games?
Man,
You go, Kenny.
there's just an immense amount of JRPGs with no depth whatsoever, with just anime tittied girls, and that's all that truly matters to them. And
Give me. Do you remember one that jumps out?
bro, I don't even remember the names of these damn games, like, because they're a dime a dozen. Go look at the PS3's fucking library, and you'll find.
One? Do you guys remember Disagia?
Yeah, Disgaea.
Disgaea,
yeah.
Disgaea. I can't even say it right.
Disgaea?
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Whatever happened to that one? I feel like people really liked that for a minute, and then it just faded.
This guy's cool. It's basically like Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a really popular game.
It's still out
Disgaea
there.
is a good one. That was a bad example.
Oh, I was like trying to find one that was like I just never played it, so I didn't know if it was ever good.
Do you guys remember? I think probably the worst game for me, and so this was probably, I think this is the only Bleach game that I've played.
Oh no!
And it was on the Wii. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was like a fighting game, 2D, like a 1v1 fighting, but you had to like just wave your Wiimote as fast as you can, and like the characters are just like
I do remember this.
just like
thing.
They'd
just
slash.
stand there and just like flash,
Yep.
and that was it.
That's all. Good.
And
Probably like
I
Bleach,
played
like-
that entire game. I put probably too many hours in it, but
Just
I was like, this game fucking sucks. Why am I wasting my life in this game? But I still played it.
Yeah,
'Cause
probably I was probably like
Bleach
burn
that
the soul or heat the soul or I don't know. I just feel like
Yeah.
every Bleach game was like fucking like it had some sort of title that was like make the shadows cry,
Yeah.
bleach the touching of the darkness or like
Every Bleach game is ass.
Yeah.
Every Bleach game is ass.
except
no Bleach Heat the Soul 2 for the Nintendo DS.
no, it's not Heat the Soul 2, Kenny. It's Bleach. You're right though. It's
Let me
something
look this
too.
shit up.
It's Bleach.
Bleach Heat the Soul 8?
No,
Bleach.
Bleach.
There's a Bleach.
It's called Bleach Dark Souls, David. Bleach Dark Souls is the one you want to look at.
Oh wait, is that like a?
It is a 2D fighter on the DS. Bleach Dark Souls. It was the second in a series. The first one was called Bleach: The Blade of Fate. Bleach.
Man, this game looks like ass.
It was developed by a company named Treasure, and they're known for a lot of really cool 2D fighting games, including, I thought they had worked on, thought they had some sort of involvement either in Jump Ultimate or something like that. No, I guess not. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Bleach Dark Souls for the DS is unquestionably the best Bleach game that they ever made.
And the beauty of it, the DS download play is the weirdest fucking thing that anybody ever thought of.
Oh yeah, because
but
you can have one cartridge.
You can play with everybody, all your friends.
Yeah.
You can do 4-player Bleach with one copy of the game.
Yeah, you can just sit around. As long as everyone has a DS, they can just download play and like fucking everyone can fight.
I remember that shit.
Yes, dude.
The game's fun as hell, okay? And
to me,
you can play it it's not even like limited in any way.
No, it's so much fun. The Bleach game for the DS, guys, that's the best. Okay. But yeah, the Bleach Wii game is absolute ass, dude. I mean,
yeah,
I can't even think about.
I think I rented it from like a Blockbusters or something.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, flashbacks.
Blockbuster.
Oh, David, it was called. I was so close. It was called Bleach Shattered Blade. Bleach Shattered Blade.
Bleach Shattered Blade. Yeah,
that's so ridiculous. That's such a stupid name.
I think it's like a feeling when you, like, as a kid, when you would go to the store, because, like, I don't know, like, for me, I had times when my parents were like, okay, you can rent a game. And I would, like, go and, like, look at one, like, which one do I want? And I would see anime. I'm like, oh, I love the anime. Maybe the game's fun.
Yep.
And then you get it, and you go home, and you're disappointed. And I feel like more often than not, you would get disappointed because the games were poorly made.
I feel like most of the early 2000s anime games were just like shovelware. Like they forced them out just to get some fan service and some dollar bills out of these kids, which is really sad because I think that we deserve better. And Jump Force is a sad, like, modern example of shovelware. Like, you know, even the My Hero fighting games are kind of ass. The One Punch Man fighting game, the Seven Deadly Sins one that just came out, the Black Clover, the Fairy Tail. It's all just like, it's all booty. Even though it's on PS4, it's booty.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about Black Clover. They had it's like a 4-player like arena fighter.
Yeah,
really? And
I know about it.
It's like Phantom Knights.
I think that's it. Quartet Knights.
Yeah, and it Quartet Knights.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think it's the only. Is it the only Black Clover game they've made?
No, there's others, but I think that's like the biggest budget one.
Yeah. Kind of surprised me that they made that one, but Metacritic gave it a whopping 53%. Okay. Also, I feel obligated to do this. Here's some of the subtitles of Bleach games that came out over the years. We had Bleach Blade Battlers, Bleach The Blade of Fate, Bleach Dark Souls, Bleach The Third Phantom, Bleach The Fourth Flamebringer. Here's one of my favorites. Bleach GameCube, Death Gods Meeting in the Twilight, Bleach The Shattered Blade, Bleach versus Crusade, Bleach Heat the Soul 1 through 8, Bleach Soul Carnival. We have Soul Carnival. This one doesn't even have an English translation, so I'm curious what it would translate it to. Bleach Advance Kurenai ni Somaru Soul Society. So someone out there that speaks Japanese, what the fuck was Kurenai ni Somaru? Because I bet it's something ridiculous. Oh, and don't even forget about Bleach Soul Ignition. Bleach Soul Ignition.
Oh, baby. Them souls.
And then we've got the newer iOS games, which are Bleach Brave Souls and Bleach. This one's real. They really thought deep on this one. Bleach Paradise Lost. Bleach Paradise Lost. They recently made a Bleach gotcha game.
It started out with just like Dark Soul or like whatever. It's just like Bleach Souls, whatever. And then they got like super. I can't remember what the titles were, but it got like super poetic.
Yeah.
And then the most recent one was like Bleach Brave Souls.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Honestly, dude, like. Oh yeah, Death Gods Meeting in the Twilight has got to be the best title of a video game ever created. Bleach, Death Gods Meeting in the Twilight. What the fuck? They were like, guys, no one's buying the Bleach GameCube game. They just don't want it. What are we gonna call it? Fuck it. Death Gods Meeting in the Twilight. Sell it, ship it. We're done.
Honestly, that's pretty damn poetic.
Honestly, it's kind of impressive.
It's pretty badass name.
kind of.
I take it back. Like that's an awesome name.
Oh, Paradise Lost.
I'd buy it and be like, you know what? Like,
Death God's Meeting in the Twilight. Let's fuck it up.
If you didn't know, David, there is a gacha game for Bleach, and I feel like you probably should go download it. Because you can get the Burn the Witch girls.
Not the gachas, bro.
They just did a Burn the Witch crossover, so you can get the Burn the Witch girls in it.
Like I played the One Piece gacha game and I couldn't get into it, so maybe I can't get into the Orihime. Wait, I might have to.
I'm pretty sure it's Bleach Brave Souls. I think that's the one that it is.
Here's. Let me tell you. Whenever they come out with Bleach, the Soul Blade Souls, that's whenever you know. They're two naming conventions, swords and souls. Smash them together.
You're right, Kenny. They gave up. Everyone was either Bleach something about swords or Bleach something about souls, and then they said fucking Blade Souls. No,
Blade Souls. Soul Blade.
Jerry Kenny, you should look up Bleach Brave Souls Summer Party Orihime.
I'm doing it. I have to see
this shit is wild.
As it truly comes back,
everyone
at home, starting position. Waifus are all that's important.
To bring this conversation full circle, my boys. Bleach, Brave Souls, Summer Orihime. Oh my Jesus motherfucking Christ. What have they done?
Wild.
What have they done?
Oh
dang,
my God.
they got all the girls in swimsuits.
You probably have to pay so much money for her. She's an ultra.
They're not even like Orihime's tits aren't even that huge,
bro.
Like they're large, but they're not that huge. Those are like some hentai titties,
bro. They got Nell in her swimsuit. They got Yoruichi. They got Harabelle. Holy shit, Soifon. Oh my God.
We sipping tonight, boys.
We simping tonight, boys. It's Bleach Brave Souls time. Even better than Genshin Impact. Even better than 5 whatever, David, 7-8 or something. What was that one called, David?
God. Wait, they have so many.
The other waifu game.
Epic 7.
Epic 7. Okay, guys.
It's all about the waifus.
Well, to bring this conversation to a close, here's the deal.
Tifa is my waifu.
Anime games are volatile. Mm-hmm. They're not going anywhere. They're going to keep coming out, and occasionally we get a diamond in the rough. There's fighting games. There's RPGs. There's waifu collectors. There's all sorts of things you can do with an anime game. But what you need to do with them is have fun. Because at the end of the day, it's just a lot of fun to play as your favorite anime character. Are we ever going to get like Dragon Ball Z Breath of the Wild? Probably not. We're probably not going to get that. That's probably not going to happen. Are we going to continue to get games that are half-made, filled with glitches, where we get to run around as Goku and shoot Kai Blast? You damn well better believe it. You damn well better believe it, boys. And that's all we need. That's all we need. All we need is a phone game where we can collect our favorite anime waifus. A couple games where we can live out our power fantasies, flying through the air as Goku, punching the shit out of someone as Luffy. That's all we need. So anime game creators, just keep giving it to us. Give us just the one thing I want to ask for. Don't ever fucking make Jump Force ever again, okay? That was a pile of shit. You guys fucked that one up. You guys really fucked that up.
Adding Giorno Giovanni
doesn't fix it. Doesn't fix it. No, that doesn't fix your game. Your game's ass.
As much as I love Giorno, doesn't fix it.
Guys, it's been a great conversation about anime games, and I hope that everyone at home has enjoyed this as well. Kenny, are you gonna unravel something for us tonight on this unique episode?
I'm gonna unravel something. So we're on the topic of video games, and I feel as though video games spiral out of control with weird fucking stories, and one of our lead offenders.
We're gonna unravel a game.
Japanese RPGs, and I'm gonna talk about a classic tonight. Final Fantasy IV has a weird fucking story. Why does it end like that? It makes no goddamn sense. So let me
wait. Do Final Fantasy IV and Naruto have something in common? Do they both end on the moon?
I think so.
Okay, I was like, I think
Okay, let's get it there, Kenny. What happened?
Okay, so our edgelord Cecil is a Dark Knight, and then his friend Kane like betrays him for some reason, but we don't really know why. And then there are these guys all over the world that are like element guys, and so you got to fight some of them. And you find this little girl, but then she becomes a full-grown girl. I don't know how that fucking happens. Time moves differently in the Summon in the Esper world, except whenever you go there as characters. Then you find out the big bad guy. Okay, let me just get to this. Okay, the big bad guy, his name's Golbez. Turns out, guess what? Your edgelord, it's your brother. Also, you're from the moon. You are a moon person, and now you got to go to the moon to stop this giant evil creature from taking over the Earth. Why are you a moon person? Why does Kane keep betraying you? Why does the what is going on in this game? This story makes no sense, okay? It just starts throwing things at the wall, and you're like, oh yeah, that's totally okay. At first, you're like fighting a mist dragon and helping a little girl through the desert and playing with spoony bards. And then you're on the moon riding in a giant whale spaceship, fighting an untold evil with your brother, who's also a moon guy. So, just like in anime, just like in manga, video games follow the same sorts of tropes and spin wildly out of control because stories just are hard. And sometimes you just got to be a moon person.
Yeah, I feel like when you're writing a game, you're like, okay, we've come up with like 25 hours of plot. The fuck we doing for the last 5? Someone says, I don't know, go to the moon.
We going to the moon, bitch.
Go to the moon.
Final Fantasy 8, we going to the moon.
Yeah, I feel like someone was just like, oh, fuck. Guess we're going to the moon. All right, 5 hours on the moon.
Send him the moon.
No, I mean...
Japan loves going to the moon.
I mean, guys. Kingdom Hearts.
What's
going on there?
Oh,
bro,
we didn't talk about Kingdom Hearts at all.
We didn't talk about Kingdom Hearts at all, but it should have come up, but it didn't.
I genuinely could not succinctly explain Kingdom Hearts in an Unraveled moment at all. That game makes no goddamn sense.
There's only one man up for the job. His name's Brian David Gilbert. If you want to watch Kingdom Hearts Unravel, go watch that on YouTube. Jesus motherfucking Christ.
And most likely, you still won't understand. It makes no sense. The game makes no goddamn sense. Story elements happen in fucking rhythm games.
Just play Kingdom Hearts 2 and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the main story elements of that goddamn game come from a phone game that never came out in America. So I don't.
What is life, Kenny? What is life? I don't know.
All you gotta know is that if they got white hair, they're probably Xanhor. That's the answer.
If they got white hair, they probably got Norded.
One more thing before we wrap up. We're officially giving away this volume of Chainsaw Man. Our one entrant, Jimmy. We're sending this to you.
Our one entrant, hell yeah.
One entrant, Jimmy. You're getting it,
Jimmy.
If enter our next giveaway, we'll give you whatever it is too.
Jimmy.
We'll give just Jimmy all kinds of things.
Honestly, dude, you were the only entry, and we're grateful for you for putting an entry. We've got lots of views on these, so no one else decided to put an entry. We decided we're going to give it to you because you were the one who went out of your way to comment. You had a really engaging comment. We're really grateful for that. So thanks so much for tuning in that time, and we'll get a hold of you to get your information so we can get this mailed out to you. So Chainsaw Man Volume 1 is yours, Jimmy. Thank you for entering our first giveaway. One entrant, better than no entrants. No, we're going to give it away. Someone's going to get Chainsaw Man Volume 1, Jimmy, so we're really excited. And we're going to try to give away more manga in the future. So, Jimmy, hopefully, if you keep entering and keep listening, but hopefully more people enter in the future.
Manga, anime, DVDs, maybe.
Maybe
even video games.
We'll give away more stuff. So it's really exciting. So keep...
give away free shit. Why not?
Right, and I have a second announcement for all of you. The Uncensored Anime Podcast is now fully available on Spotify. You can find us on Spotify every single episode so far. Today's episode will be up on Spotify shortly after it goes up on YouTube. We're no longer YouTube exclusive, unfortunately. We will be available across multiple listening platforms that you'll be able to find in the bio down below. So if you made it this far
check out the bio. Consider listening to us over on Spotify, maybe on your drive to work. If you want to hear more anime goodness, we're going to continue to bring you more episodes like this, more anime reviews, more anime fans that you're going to be able to interact with. We have a lot more planned here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast because we want to keep talking about all the shit that we love and want you guys to keep talking about it as well. We can't thank you enough for tuning in again here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast. We've been doing this for 3 whole months now. Every week, every Friday, we've dropped an episode for 3 months straight, and we plan to keep it up for quite a bit longer. So we're really enjoying doing this, and we hope you guys are enjoying. Yeah, maybe forever. No, we're hoping you're enjoying. And tell us down below, what are your favorite anime games? What are your favorite, least favorite anime games? What do you think of when you, if you want to think about these questions, we would love to hear from you guys. A lot of these questions that we talk about on the episodes, they're questions that we want to hear from the community as well. So if you've stumbled upon this episode for some reason and you're like, wow, I like anime and games, then you're in the right place. And tell us down below. So thanks so much for listening. Boys, you generally don't have anything else you want to say, so I'll say it for you. Thanks so much. See you guys next time. This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast saying...
Oh, wait.
Go on.
What about Vampire Night?
Wait.
This is the Uncensored Anime Podcast saying...
This is the Vampire Night Podcast signing out. Good night.
I have to say, I almost at the very beginning of this episode, when David said he was finally becoming a real weeb, I was going to be like, he finally graduated Vampire Knight Academy or something like that. And I totally missed my moment. He finally got out.
Man, that would have been a good one, bro.
Sit boy, David. Sit boy.
There's a Vampire Night game?
Yep, there's a Vampire Night video game.
I'm
buying it right now on Amazon.
No, and we'll say it again right here, right now. If our YouTube channel, the Uncensored Anime Podcast, ever reaches 1,000 subscribers, if we ever reach 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, we will do a full review of the Vampire Night anime, and Kenny will live stream his entire watching. If 0 people are watching him, he will sit there and he will let you watch him watch Vampire Night for the entirety of the show. Kenny will live stream it. If we can hit 1,000 subscribers, we will live stream him watching Vampire Night.
I'll watch it with you. That sounds
David and I will probably show up for parts of it, and we will do a full-blown review of Vampire Night live. So David, Kenny, and I will go live and review Vampire Night. If we somehow ever make it to 1,000 subscribers, we promise that is our plan. We don't think we're ever going to get to 1,000, so... but if we do...
Prove us wrong.
Yeah, prove us wrong. If we do, Vampire Night coming your way, finally. The one show that never dies here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast. Vampire Night, baby.
Here on the Vampire Night Podcast.
With that, we are signing off for this week's episode. We will see you next Friday with a special guest, hopefully. We were supposed to have one this week. We didn't have one this week. We've hopefully got him for next week. We'll have another fun and special guest on next week, and maybe a couple more guests before the end of the year as well, to talk about different anime topics. We've got a couple different fun ones planned, so keep coming back every Friday. And we're going to hopefully review another show or two before the end of the year. We've been looking at trying to maybe do The Great Pretender, so you might be hearing about The Great Pretender coming up. That's one we're maybe thinking about doing a review. You might hear a review of Konosuba to some degree from us very soon, so if that's one of your favorites. And certainly, you're going to be hearing a God of High School review from us here on the Uncensored Anime Podcast. That will be coming. So those of you who watched all of God of High School, we know it's done now. You're going to be hearing a review of that from us very soon as well. So be excited. Be ecstatic. We've got a lot of fun, new and unique things planned. That's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to make this happen. With that, this is the Uncensored Anime Podcast signing off, and we are saying peace!